Championships on the NFHS Network, brought to you in conjunction by Video Productions. My name is Andrew Miller, alongside my color analyst, Deneen Kincaid. Jeff Kincaid is our spotter. Robbie Mounts, our game producer. Executive producer of Video Productions is Butch Mounts. We are getting set for the Class AAA Championship matchup. And if it is anywhere close to what we witnessed in the first match here today, we are in for an absolute treat. In the AA championship match, it was number 1 Oak Glen, number 2 Philip Barber. Two teams with a combined 14 state titles. In 5 sets, it went all the way to a 15-12 fifth set. Philip Barber with the victory over Oak Glen to secure the championship for the Colts. We have another 1 versus 2 matchup here in Class AAA. The Bridgeport Indians coming in with a record of 51-8-2. And their opponents, the number 2 seeded Herbert Hoover Huskies, at 49-6-1. These two teams have not met this year, so in the championship is when they will see each other for the first time. Taking a look at the path to the championships for both teams in the quarterfinals, Bridgeport easily dispatching of number 8 seeded Elkins 3-0. Herbert Hoover took care of Wayne in their first matchup 3-0 as well. In the semifinals, Bridgeport dispatching of Winfield 3-0, and Herbert Hoover defeating Shady Spring to advance to this one. A very interesting Class AAA. Every team that is in this bracket that was in this championship was in Class AA last year, except for Bridgeport, who last year was defeated in the quarterfinals by Woodrow Wilson, who is now in Class Quad A. Very interesting matchup here between two teams who have not met. Well, Deneen, we saw in the Class AA matchup 2 programs that have been to the state tournament numerous times. Here we're going to see 2 teams at 1 and 2 this year with a combined 1 state title between the 2 of them. 1 for Bridgeport. Herbert Hoover looking for their first ever.
I think it's going to be interesting to see who can handle the pressure. This is a different crowd. We saw in the last matchup, the crowd really got into it, and there was a little bit of chatter going back and forth. So I anticipate that the fans will give us every bit in this matchup too. I'm enjoying watching the warm-ups, seeing the girls. They don't seem to be too nervous.
Well, you said Herbert Hoover was playing a little freeze tag to get warmed up, so that's fun. And, of course, Bridgeport out there now doing some serving and some serve receiving as well. We are looking forward to this second of 3 matchups here today. Again, Class Single A on hold at the moment in the state of West Virginia due to some legal injunctions. We don't know when that is going to take place. Also affecting, by the way, the playoffs in West Virginia in football as well. The first round has been postponed at least for a week in that. But again, we are ready to go here in Class AAA. Number 1 Bridgeport, number 2 Herbert Hoover. We will break away for a moment. When we come back, we will send it across the way to Doug Pearson, our PA announcer, for the announcements of the starting lineups.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center for championship round of the 24 State Volleyball Championship. This event is sponsored by the West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission with its Executive Director, Mr. David Price, Associate Director Wayne Ryan, Assistant Director Dan Comer, and the Assistant Directly responsible for volleyball, Dr. Cindy Daniel. Once again, we've celebrated Veterans Day all this week. We want to give our veterans an opportunity to stand and please be recognized by this crowd at this time. So if you've got any veterans, please stand to be recognized. Thank you for your service. Now let's meet the participants in this AAA championship match. First, we'll meet the Lady Huskies from Herbert Hoover High School. Macy Smith, Brianna Adkins, Lauren Pleska, Hannah Shamblin, Ashlyn Clay, Ashton Henrick, Zaya Smith, Braylon Adkins, Lily Lancaster, Kendra Callan, Jessie Crook, Amelia Canterbury, Olivia Huddleston, and Kylie Hackney. They're coached by Anita King, assistant coach Ashton King. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lady Huskies from Herbert Hoover High School.
Baby.
Now let's meet the Indians from Bridgeport High School. Kennedy Wolf, Sam Martin, Katie Backus, Addison Weigel, Kaylee Enfield, Miley Smell, Taylor Randolph, Callie Morgan, Salam Rajub, Avery Humble, and Chloe Martinez. Once again, they're coached by Allie Barton and assistant coach Grant Barton. Ladies and gentlemen, the Indians from Bridgeport High School. Good luck, ladies. Let's play for a state championship.
So the participants for both the Huskies and the Indians. And we are ready to go here in Class AAA. Class AA was an absolute battle, a 5-set matchup in which Philip Barber, the Colts, with their 7th state championship in 5 sets over Oak Glen. Somebody is going to win here today. Bridgeport has 1 state title back in 2018, a runner-up in 16, both in AA. Herbert Hoover, no state titles. They have played for it twice. They were a runner-up in 1996 and the first year for head coach Anita King in 2013. Coach Allie Burton at the helm for Bridgeport. 11th year as the head coach, 364, 135. Anita King, 16th year as a head coach, 12th at Herbert Hoover. Her overall record, 399, 195, and 26. My name is Andrew Miller, alongside my color analyst, Deneen Kincaid. Jeff Kincaid is our spotter. Robbie Mounts, game producer. We've got a bunch of cameramen. And Butch Mounts, the executive producer of video productions, in conjunction with the NFHS Network and the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission. And we are underway. Bridgeport with an opportunity quickly and immediately a whistle by the down judge. I think somebody for the Huskies in the net immediately.
Serving for Bridgeport, Callie Morgan.
Callie Morgan, the senior, serving it up for Bridgeport.
Calm down and start communicating.
Very interesting to see, two teams that are not exactly new to the state tournament, but to a championship game, absolutely. And Bridgeport's quickly up 3-0 as Henrik unable to get back to that one.
It's all breaking down on the serve receive. They just need to calm down and get a good pass.
Morgan goes to the back line with it. Adkins wearing that red libero jersey, and on the back line it stays. The Huskies, as you mentioned, Deneen, struggling a bit here early in set number 1, looking maybe a little nervous.
Definitely nervous. They're not communicating. They're overplaying the balls.
Morgan wasting no time. As soon as that whistle from the up judge comes, she's ready to serve. Some left outs on the edge for Smell.
That was a great dig.
And a good swing on it by Pleska, the freshman. Smell once again attempting it over on the far side. And again, some communication issues popping up here early for the Huskies in the first set. Coach Anita King trying to give her young ladies a little bit of excitement. Say, don't worry about it. Keep working. Isaiah Smith took a bunch off of that one. Smell didn't get all of that one, and a great decision made at the last second by Adkins to pull the hands back.
Yeah, I think they're just nervous. You can just see they need to settle down. Once they get in the play and they actually start playing, you can see the calmness is better. It's just that first serve receive, that first touch, they're just panicky.
Pleska, the lone freshman on the roster for Coach King. Left up on the near side, tipped across by Raju. And that one missing along for the Indians. Pleska's second serve. Left up, Smell attacking. Handled, though, by Smith on the opposite side. Now Smith leaping for it. A great dig on the back line for the Indians. Another tremendous dig. This one left for Smith. Again, the Indians getting underneath these balls. Boy, incredible plays by Bridgeport, but in the end, it was Zaya Smith who put it down.
I don't think that had a chance of going over, but I think Bridgeport was just so scrappy. They did such a good job.
Indians have some different numbers than what we have, so it's going to take us a minute. One that we do have is Rajub, who is serving. I think they got maybe the Huskies in the net on that play. We had,
I guess,
Herbert Hoover getting that one. This one deflected at the net, kept alive by Bridgeport.
Again, really good scrappy play on Bridgeport's part. They're not giving up on the plays.
Shamlin from the back line tried to set that one forward. And the lead is 5 early for the Indians. And a good serve by Raju. Shamlin had to go down and dig that one off the ground. Here comes Smell attacking again, deflected at the net. And Miley Smell showing why she was a first-team All-Stater last year.
They have a little energy.
Just a bit. Early timeout for the Huskies as Bridgeport, a commanding 8-2 lead, will be back in a second. Out of the timeout for the Huskies, the Indians attacking quickly, and still the Huskies out of a timeout. Not what you want to see, Deneen. Lack of communication here early.
Well, the serve receive is really letting them down. And then everybody needs to be on alert when you see a shanked pass. And they're just kind of stepping back flat-footed.
Lancaster setting it up, and a nice swing that time on the Huskies side. That can give them a little bit of momentum.
That was a great swing, but Bridgeport didn't give up on that ball, even followed it almost off the court.
We had seen Smith earlier in this set, very quickly in the set, with some tip shots. We saw her in warm-ups, though, Deneen. She was getting up, and she was smashing it across, so that was good to see her go hard at it.
Right.
Coming in, flying, that was that Smell again? Yep, Miley Smell from the near side this time. She had been staying on the left side until that one. Kennedy Wolf serving for the Indians. Healthy swing by Henrik. And Henrik airmails it long over the back line. Bridgeport up big quickly. And the Indians have not lost a set in the tournament this year. 3-0, 3-0 in their 2 matches in quarterfinal and semifinal action. Here's an overpass. Missed time, though, by the Indians. A little bit of a wry smile there for Taylor Randolph. Pair of substitutions. Jessie Crook checking in, as well as Brianna Atkins. Atkins will head back behind the service line. And Bridgeport coming out firing and taking advantage of maybe some nerves for the Huskies. Smell ripping that one into the nets, and Crook making a quick play as she just checked in. Second serve for Atkins. Left up, Smell. I'll tell you what, she has got some leaping ability of her own.
Good coverage there.
Smell, that flat-footed leap. Hard shot sent across that time, handled, though, by the Indian defense. And that time, airmailed across. Randolph was just trying to keep it alive and send it over the net.
But you never want to bump the ball backwards because you can't see where the net is. She needed to just turn her feet around and look at the court and put that ball in a place where the defense wasn't.
So the Huskies trying to shake off a rough early start here. They've got a couple in a row, and that will not help the cause. Somebody into the net for the Huskies.
That is not the person I expected to be into the net. Bridgeport was just scrambling so much, I kind of expected their momentum to be the one that pushed them into the net. Not the case.
So Miley Smell will head back to serve, the senior. First team All-Stater last year. She was the captain of the second team as a sophomore. Awkward shot attempt and a great swing still on that far side, waiting to get the number. That's 13, Callie Morgan. Morgan was floating sideways on that one. Here's a good swing by Ashlyn Clay, a 5'9" sophomore. Came attacking that one and ripped it between the front and back line.
Now serving, Ashton Hendrick.
Henrik will serve. And a serve-receive
Nice
error
serve.
on that back line. Just hit low on the hands of Kaylee Infield. Well, the Huskies trying to shake off that rough start here. They've kind of kept it at where it started, down 5. There's a great swing. They are relying on Smell a lot.
Yeah, they're digging back, but they just need to keep being aggressive on their swings.
Said Smell, actually, I believe that was Randolph. My apologies. Now Infield wearing the red jersey. Sails it long over the back line. A service error. You got to think, if you're Herbert Hoover right now, you're feeling good at being down 5.
Right.
Tipped across, kept alive. Great dig by Atkins.
Good work.
That will help the confidence of the Huskies for sure. This one at the net, called in. Over on the far side, Rajub went with the left-hand poke.
She didn't have an option on that, and that was a great reach. Good job.
And just snuck it in. Rajub knew it automatically. And a great serve to the back line, and mishit a bit by Adkins.
Again, it's the serve receive that's just really hurting Herbert Hoover.
And again, number 4 for the Indians, we do not have on our roster. I know it's somebody. We're just waiting to find out.
we know it's a human.
Well, it's a human for sure. Serve receive error this time by the Huskies. And another timeout burned early here for Coach King and Herbert Hoover. It is an 8-point advantage for the Indians here in set number 1. Well, we have the player to be named later for the Indians. It is Addison Weigel serving, listed as number 7 in our roster book and number 4 on the floor. Right now, though, Deneen, Bridgeport, they came out firing. They do not look nervous at all. And although the Huskies looked nervous at the beginning, it looks like Bridgeport is just pressuring Herbert Hoover right now after that big 7-point advantage. The Huskies, though, had been hanging around in the latter part of this first set. The question is, have they shaken off that tough start completely?
Being down 7, that's a hard comeback. Can be done.
And the Indians get a point there for Callie Morgan. That one sailed long, but Morgan immediately was calling for a deflection. And you see it right there, just tipping off of the fingertip of one of the Huskies. Here's Zaya Smith.
Great dig.
And that one diagonally sent. What a play by the Bridgeport Indians.
So in contrast to the previous matchup, the net play isn't the blocking. It isn't quite here yet. I don't know if they just haven't figured it out yet, know their marks.
Kennedy Morgan with that nice play on the last one. Now the Huskies, a much-needed side out for Pleska. Feel bad for Jeff, our spotter. He is headed all the way over to try to find number 4. We now know it. It is Weigel. Service for Pleska. This one sent over to Smell. Wow. I want to know who's got the higher vertical. Is it Smell for Bridgeport or is it Smith for Herbert Hoover?
No, it's fun to watch it, both of them, isn't it?
I mean, when you leap and just look down at the other side wherever you want to send it. Here is Smith.
But she's really not smacking at that ball.
Just one time here in the first set has she gone full bore at it.
She's really just kind of pushing it and trying to direct it. I think they need the power at this point. They need to start getting them a little rattled. The
Indians right now on a massive run to begin this Class AAA championship match.
That's a good pass.
Left up for Smith, and again, she pulls back on it, but it worked that time.
That time it worked, and I think it was such a beautiful set that they were expecting her to just kill that ball, and everybody pulled back a little bit. So it was a good mix-up in that situation.
Definitely appreciate our spotter, Jeff Kincaid, walking halfway around the building to find number 4.
Leave no man behind.
Absolutely. Serving it up, Kylie Hackney for the Huskies. On the run that time, Smell going cross court.
Bridgeport's leaving a door open, but I don't know. Herbert Hoover's got to be aggressive here and go at it.
Such a long way to come back when you look at the scoreboard. You're down double figures. Huskies, though, have it down to 8. Set up nicely for Heinrich. And now Smith comes right back at it.
That's an example of when a vertical helps you.
That was sent back across on the overpass, and Smith was right there, put it between the two defenders.
There's no way you can defend that.
Zaya Smith was a second-team All-State performer last year. Jump serve for Hackney, miss hit on the back line, and Bridgeport cannot get to it. The Huskies look a little bit better as far as body language is concerned right now.
Yep.
And they have cut that deficit in half now.
That was a nice aggressive serve.
Hackney again serving it up. Smell has to stay with it at the 10-foot line. Boy, what a pass over there to Smell again, but a great play up front by the Huskies.
Bridgeport's just scrapping up everything.
Boy, what a shot again. Smell 1, 2, 3 times. And she finally found the far right corner. Being challenged up front, though, by Smith. There is some height on this front line right now for the Huskies. Ashlyn Clay, 5'10". Lancaster leaves it for Smith. Smell, wasting no time. She's really timed these swings well. Still, though, they got it through. That was Clay once again.
They're still in this. I mean, it's going to be difficult, but it's.
Huskies went down 5-0 to start, looked out of sorts, looked nervous. Trailed 21-11, and they have scored 5 of the last 6 points. Brianna Atkins back in to serve for Herbert Hoover.
Nice deep serve.
Wolf leaves it up. Smell moved over to the right side for that one. Clay lines that one up, deflected at the net by Smell. They're going to send it over to Smell again. She is just eating here in the first set. Indians 2 points away from closing out the first set.
Now serving Miley Smell.
Smell now after the shot and the kill, serving it up.
Nice pass.
Atkins leaves it for the lefty Crook. Get a great swing on it. Smell, though, doing it all right now. They'll send it to Henrik. Smell again equal to the task on the back line. Here comes the front line, though, of Crook blocking it down. Well, the Huskies may or may not make the comeback in this first set, but one thing I think is for certain, they are no longer nervous.
No, they're not. They're settling into the actual play of the game.
Jump serve for Clay. They'll leave it on the far side. Healthy swing that time for Morgan. Clay going at it cross court, and that one deflected out of play by the Indians.
Herbert Hoover's also picking up the intensity of their hits. They're not just pushing and tipping over anymore. They're hitting a little harder and making Bridgeport make those hard digs.
Henrich serving. Maybe they just need some smelling salts here to begin. Very nice dig, sliding in there for Braley Atkins. Indians left that one up for a bit. Atkins sends it over early with the early set. Morgan flying backwards and sideways. That one goes outside of that extension. It is down to 4.
You got to give them credit. They're digging in.
8 of the last 10 points make it 9 of 11. And the Huskies are coming roaring back here in this first set, so much so that Bridgeport and Coach Allie Burton is going to burn a timeout. We'll take it with them. Be back at the end of the first set here in Class AAA. What a change the first set we have had here. It was all Bridgeport leading 21-11. And right now, Herbert Hoover, who looked nervous and out of sorts to begin this championship matchup, have won 10 of the last 13 points. They have cut this down to 2.
Bridgeport's a little stunned right now. They don't understand what's going on.
And Henrich continuing to serve for the Huskies. Morgan swings it nicely to the back line. Atkins left it up for Crook. Miss hit in the front line. And the Huskies are to within 1.
That was a beautiful dump around the middle hitter into the left front empty spot. That girl just struggled to try to get something on it. And it was just an awesome, awesome tip shot.
Henrich dives that one across the net beautifully. Atkins going to leave it over behind the head to Clay, who sends it cross court. Right now, the Huskies are absolutely in fuego.
Everything you see from their defense, as soon as they make the call, they're calling their partners off. They're clearing their arms out saying, it's mine. You didn't see that in the beginning of the matchup. They were totally shell-shocked. Now they're like, we know how to play this game.
13 of the last 15 points by way of the Herbert Hoover Huskies. They have come all the way back from 21-11 to tie the first set with just 2 points remaining. Well, that's one way to wake up if you're a Huskies fan. For Bridgeport right now, you got to be thinking, what just happened?
I think they thought, this is easy, we're rocking. It just shows you have to finish it all the way out. You got to get to 25 first.
The question is, who is going to make the final couple plays?
It depends on this first touch. This serve receive is crucial. Who are they going to serve it to? Is there someone in that back row that's consistently been making the mistakes? I probably wouldn't serve it to the girl in the red jersey.
So it is Ashton Henrich, the senior, staring down the up judge, ready to go. Sends it back line. Smell sends it up front. Bit awkward, so defense for Bridgeport. Good swing on the back line by Henrich.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a miscommunication rears its ugly head at the wrong time for the Huskies. The Indians with a much-needed side out.
I don't know. I'd call a timeout if I were Herbert Hoover. You can't take it with you.
Service for the set here for the Indians now. Clay with a good swing. Morgan tips it over. Pleska, the freshman, had a good swing on the far side.
Again, their scrambling is amazing.
Yeah, infield did a great job there. Here comes the lefty. Crook blocked at the net by Morgan, kept alive, though, by the Huskies. And now blocked again. That time it was Clay. A lot of play close to the net right now. Sent across early by Wolf.
Taking it on 2. That was a good choice.
Healthy swing at it this time by Rajub. And that will be deflected off of the Huskies. I tell you what, Bridgeport won that first set but the Huskies feeling much better about the end of it than the first. It is Bridgeport taking set number 1 in this Class AAA championship matchup on the NFHS Network. We welcome you back inside the Charleston Coliseum Convention Center. Andrew Miller alongside Deneen Kincaid. What a crazy first set in Class AAA. It looked as if Herbert Hoover was nervous and not ready to be here at the beginning. Bridgeport went up 5-0 very quickly. The Huskies just looked really timid. The Huskies actually fell behind 21-11, fought all the way back to tie it with a run of 13 of 15 points, but in the end, Bridgeport surviving that first set. Not something I would have said at the beginning.
It was a lot of fun to watch. I thought Bridgeport played a very scrappy game, and it was very fun to watch. But you have to give Herbert Hoover some credit. They were just going, keeping at it.
Well, that tells me, hopefully, that this will be a crazier matchup than we thought it might be at the beginning. Both teams look really focused now. Addison Weigel leading it off for the Indians. And the Huskies try to score that first point. Look at it, up on the net. Spinning around on the top of the net a couple of times. And eventually a fourth hit for the Indians.
Now serving Lauren Pleska.
The lone freshman again on the roster here for the Huskies, Lauren Pleska. Sent across nicely and a good swing by Callie Morgan. Now Smith.
There you go.
Well, we were asking ourselves that after watching Zia Smith in the warm-ups. She was ripping shots down, and then in the first set, she was going with soft dink shots the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll do that now.
It was nice to see her connect on one.
Well, she's obviously got the leaping ability to get up on top there. Healthy cut that time by Salam Rajoub, who finished off, by the way, that first set with a really nice swing.
I think she wanted that ball. She knew she could do something with it.
Callie Morgan serving it up for the Indians. Near side, healthy swing by Henrich. I'll get it right eventually. She was only a first-team All-Stater. I think I could get that at this point. And what do we got here? Originally called in for the Huskies, overturned. And they said this one, in fact, was out and not tipped. So the point instead will go to the Indians. Coach King for the Huskies arguing her point here. Or at least making sure that the umpires or the officials, the judges, know that she disagrees with that one.
Okay, there's 2 kills with some heat to it.
Yeah, Smith going hard at it. That one deflected out of play. Side out moves back over to the Huskies. Substitutions abound. They'll send Canterbury out of the game. Kylie Hackney in to serve for Herbert Hoover. Hackney, I was just getting ready to say, was on serve when that run started.
Right.
Unfortunately, this time the magic did not happen as she sent it into the net.
She went for a little bit extra there.
Rajoub now serving for the Indians. Smith from 10 feet. Deflected and kept alive by the Indians. Sent back across.
I think that hit off someone's head.
It might have. I think Wolf took that one off the noggin. There's Smith attacking again. This time the Indians were there and blocking it.
Well, the off-hit coverage wasn't very good there. So they should have been tighter into her being ready to hit that block straight, that block was going to come straight down.
Yeah, it's Smell and Randolph both there for the block. Henrich pulls back on the swing. Smell does not. She has got leaping ability. And from that far side, Deneen, she's been coming up to the net, getting good passes to her, and she's attacking.
Yep. She's not hesitating to swing.
And she's staying with a lot of those straight line shots, not trying to go cross court or anything. just utilizing the steam behind it. Speaking of that, steam on the swing for Henrich. Unfortunately, again, a little strong on the swing. Raju with the Indian faithful right behind her. This one left up nicely for Randolph.
You saw that developing, though. It was pretty easy to defend it.
Another shot opportunity. This time, Smell did go cross court. Missed just a little bit long on it. Raju checking outs for the Indians. Smith and Lancaster back out for the Huskies. Shamblin and Atkins back in for Herbert Hoover. Atkins will be serving. Wolf leaves it up over on the far side, and that one on the outside of the antenna.
Hit that antenna.
Well, the Indians went up by 3. Huskies saying we're not going down 10 again this time.
Right.
Try to stay a little closer in the second set.
Their serve receive still is a little shaky. They need to get that better in control.
I was wondering if they were going to get Smell that time. She kept her body away from the net, but she went way across that line. She turned as soon as the whistle hit. She's like, darn it.
She knew.
3 in a row now for the Huskies as they have tied it here. Here's an overpass. Atkins leaves it in the middle for Crook, who goes with the left-handed dink shot.
Well, I think that's why they put her in the middle, because that dink is open all day long.
Second time she has scored on that one. Huskies fighting back to take their first lead here in the second set. Wolf leaves it in the middle. Smell had it blocked. Again, over to Smell. Great job by Shamblin. Now Clay rips one to the back line. Wolf sends it across early. Atkins over the head. Clay again with a cross-court shot at the net, and Henrich was there to send it down. I have not seen a team go from nervous to motivated this quickly.
Yeah, they settled down. And that was a nice calm play to just tap that down. Didn't need to do more than that with it.
5 straight for the Huskies. Shamblin has to rip it all the way to the back line.
Though.
Yeah. Smell contorted on that swing. Henrich attacking to the net. Deflected off of a defender. I think Randolph may have been there for the deflection. The Huskies rocking and rolling at the moment. Atkins, since checking in, has been on serve. Randolph trying to take a bit off, sit it down the line, and it misses wide left.
I think this is a good timeout. You don't want to just keep, you got to stop this sometime.
Yeah, 7 in a row for the Huskies. The Indians call a timeout. We'll take it with them here in set number 2 of Class AAA. Welcome back inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center Class AAA Championship matchup. Number 1 Bridgeport, number 2 Herbert Hoover. The Huskies in the midst of a 7-point run. They have taken the lead out of the timeout for Bridgeport. Huskies still attacking. Atkins sends it over early. What a pancake shot, though, but they will say that Weigel could not get the hand under it. Let's look.
No.
Hoping to see.
Guess not.
Yep, here it comes. Oh, I think it ricocheted off the ground, maybe. And there is a point for the Indians.
Smell again.
Obviously, she's the go-to. First-team All-Stater last year, second-team captain in 2022. Kennedy Wolf, the sophomore, serving. Here's Crook leaving one. The lefty swinging hard at it. And again, you got Smell over there in her comfortable position. But right now, the front line defenders for the Huskies are working very well. You had Crook there, you had Clay there, and I believe it was Ashlyn Clay that got that block. Henrich serving for the Huskies. In the middle, Randolph swinging hard, missing long.
Again, in the middle, it's hard to go straight. You want to try to aim for those corners. Hitting it cross court gives you a lot more room to work with.
Jump serve for Henrich. Wolf leaves it up for Smell. Again, a block at the net. That one, it may have been Crook.
18.
When you look up with the front line, you got 5'9", 5'9", 5'10". It's not all about the height when you're trying to block. It's sometimes about timing it right, and that's what Herbert Hoover is doing. I don't know who that team was that started this matchup for the Huskies, but they are gone. That team that started struggling.
They were just so out of their system when their serve receive. You can tell that, like I said, they get them into the game and they were playing well.
And now for Bridgeport, the Indians have got to find some sort of catalyst for themselves because they are kind of
they're
a little
making
out of
too
it at the
many
moment.
Unforced errors.
Yeah.
They need to get back into that rhythm again instead of panicking.
At one point in the first set, Bridgeport had a 10-point advantage. Right now it's 9 in the second set for the Huskies. Wolf's going to send it over to Smell. That's where she likes to be, and that is what she does best.
And that couldn't have been a better set. It was just perfect. No spin on that ball. It was just gorgeous.
Checking back in is Callie Morgan for the Indians.
Now serving, Miley Smell.
And Smell will serve it for the Indians. Good first passes here for the Huskies, setting themselves up nicely. Atkins still in there, and she fed Clay. Now Clay, after the point, will check out. Back in, Kylie Hackney. Braylon Atkins, the sophomore, will serve for the Huskies.
Nice deep serve.
Sent over Morgan, goes back line with it.
I was surprised they got such a good pass off of that deep serve because she really had to reach up for that.
Now serving, Katie Enfield.
Well, it was the Huskies coming from behind down 10 in the first set. Right now, the Indians will have to do it down, starting 9, now down 8. First pass, maybe a little bit of an overpass at the net. We'll see what the call is.
I think that could have been set interference.
They were looking at it. The two judges locked eyes, and they said, nope, they're going to give it to the Indians. And Kaylee Enfield serving. Huskies having to scramble to get that one over. In the middle, left up for Morgan.
The whole tenor of that point was set on the first touch serve receive. Wasn't a very good touch, and it just kind of put them back on their heels the whole point.
Well, the Indians at one point trailed by 9. They've cut it down to 6. And a great swing on the run by Hackney this time. Timed that one very well, went cross court, deflected it off of a defender. Now look at this, 3 in, 3 outs. You've got Smith, you've got Lancaster, and Amelia Canterbury checking in for Herbert Hoover.
Also checking in, Amelia Canterbury.
It will be the sophomore Lancaster to serve. This is a sophomore-heavy roster, by the way, for Coach Anita King. Raju came in flying, tipped that one over the net. Wolf is going to send it back over again. Raju goes left-handed. Tries to feed it again across. Mistimed it a little bit. Think it worked to their advantage, though.
I think it worked and going quickly. Our setter had done a one-arm dig, but she just didn't get up quick enough to get back, and they just hit it right back to her.
Now Weigel serving. This one's set over the head to Pleska. And
Nice
Pleska
hit.
finishes it.
That was a nice aggressive swing.
Now you look down this roster for the Huskies, 7 sophomores, a freshman, just 3 seniors. Brianna Atkins, Ashton Henrich, and Hannah Shamblin. Now a miss hit on the serve, and the Huskies roaring back once again, and they lead by 8. Late now in this set.
It's a game of streaks, I guess.
Pleska with the jump serve. Wolf over the head.
Nice
Good
poke.
swing by Morgan and a great job by the Huskies. Sent over to Raju, but blocked at the net by Canterbury. Stays on the side of the Huskies.
I think that block was just a little bit late, and when you're running late, you're kind of drifting to the outside, and then that just forces the ball to hit off of your hands and go outside. You don't have time or the strength to redirect it into the middle of the court.
Callie Morgan back to serve for Bridgeport. Dangerous up front. Henrich able to adjust. Now Smell goes flat-footed. This one set up for Henrich. Handled on the back line. I like Bridgeport's defense. Here's an overpass sent down immediately again. Well, as you said a couple of times, Janine, go quickly with it if you can. Mm-hmm. And Bridgeport did, and they earn another point to cut it back down to 6.
And with Isaiah Smith in the middle, you've got to get a perfect pass, or else that middle is never going to see a set. And in that whole series, they never got a good pass to enable them to set up the middle. And it's holding true still.
Shamlin comes in from about 15 feet. Smell sends it back line. She had missed a couple at the end of the first set on the back line, but she has hit on the last few. And now the Huskies burn a timeout as the Indians cut it from 9 down to 5. 2015, Huskies leading here in set 2. Wild start to the Class AAA championship matchup. The Huskies in the first set were down 10, fought back to tie it at 23 apiece before Bridgeport ended that one. Right now, it is the Huskies with a lead. They had it out to 9. Bridgeport had put a run together of 4 straight to cut it to 5, but Zaya Smith, after doing a lot of soft shots in the first set, she said no more. She's been swinging heavy.
Well, the unsung hero there is that first touch. It gave them a pass that allowed them to set Zaya. If they don't get that good, decent pass, it takes her out of the equation.
Hackney serving. Smell rips it into the defender's hands. That was Clay. Now the Indians maybe a little bit mishit there.
Now, if you notice, that block was set up in time, and that gave them the strength to redirect their hands into the middle of the court instead of drifting outside and letting it bounce off of you.
Huskies inching closer and closer.
Good eye.
To the second set. Yeah, that one airmailed long by Hackney.
And that's where you depend on your teammates to put their foot on the line and tell you whether it's in or out and play that ball.
Rajub serving. Left up for Smith. And again, Smith, she's not mincing words now.
Smart of the setter to know what rotation she was in, to know where to put that ball to get it to her.
Substitutions once again for the Huskies. Canterbury back in, Bailey Atkins back in, or Brianna Atkins, I apologize. Wolf leaves it up in the middle for Smell. I'm telling you what, the Huskies at the net have been tremendous.
The middles have really stepped up their game.
That time it was Jesse Crook. And now a set point opportunity for the Huskies. Up front, Wolf leaves it over on the side, sent across early by Smell. Henrich goes diagonal all the way back. Tracking it down are the Indians.
Good hustle.
In the middle, though, Crook, the lefty, sent across quickly by Smell twice.
Someone was in the net there.
Smell. Back to back. She no sooner got to the ground as she had to jump back up again.
There was some great scrambling going on that play.
The Indians live to fight for another point here in the second set. Crook.
No, the tip.
Great hustle by the Indians on the back line. This one deflected, kept up again, sent across. The Indians not going away without a fight. Smell with a block on the clay swing. Now cross court it goes, and Henrich will end it. Boy, the second set did not disappoint either.
That was awesome. Bridgeport didn't scramble quite as much as they did in the first game. I'm still not convinced that Hoover has settled down their serve-receive game enough yet, but their passes are at least giving the setters more than one option.
Making it work on both sides. We are tied one set apiece in this best-of-5 Class AAA championship matchup. Incredible action in sets 1 and 2 in this Class AAA state championship matchup featuring Bridgeport, the 1 seed, Herbert Hoover, the 2 seed. It was the Indians going up 21-11 in the first set before a massive run of 13 of 15 points for the Huskies. Bridgeport able to close it out. Huskies went up by 9 in the second set before Bridgeport fought back to cut it down to 5. But in the end, the Huskies win the second. So in this best-of-5, we are 1-1 inside the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia. Alongside Deneen Kincaid, I'm Andrew Miller. And what will the third set offer us after those first two chaotic sets?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I think it's going to depend on who sets the tone, getting that serve receive. And right now, served it deep. She probably played an out ball.
There's Lily Lancaster serving for the Huskies. Just a bit of a miss hit by Weigel on that back line. They'll go right back at Weigel this time. Wolf sets it up for Rajub.
Talk it up, girls.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication. There comes Rajub in again. She has made a lot of good things happen with that tip with the left hand.
Yeah. She's a very dynamic player. She's smart. She's played this game before, I think.
Just a junior, Salam Rajub. And a beautiful serve by Wolf. Or not Wolf, that was Morgan. Talk about sets or sets of runs. These seem to be sets of just who's going to go up by double figures at this point. Here comes Smith attacking at the net. Rajub with the deflection tried to pull it up off of the net, couldn't do it.
Well, we were talking in the changeover of how we'd love to see Isaiah Smith hitting outside more, and that was an example of why. She can reach up and get to any ball.
And just puts so much force behind it, it's hard to handle up front. Bit of an overpass at the net, kept alive though by Bridgeport.
Move your feet and stop reaching.
Hendrich sends it over with the bump. This one over to Smell. And Smell rips it off of the deflected hands of Canterbury. He had two defenders there. Neither of them were able to get to it.
Again, there's just a little hesitation of like, are we going? Are we going? You need to be just going for those balls.
Hannah Shamblin checking back in on the back line, replacing Pleska. And Rajub will be the server for the Indians. Here's an overpass sent back immediately by Wolf.
And they recovered from it.
Henrich goes cross court with it, as does Smell up front. Smith pokes it back line. I like the idea.
I love that idea. She didn't really have much else. Maybe didn't need to go for that much, but darn, that was awesome.
I'll tell you, Coach Allie Bird for the Indians may be the most happy about that play. She jumped up in excitement when that one went to the right of the sideline. Smith may have mistimed that one a bit.
Or tried to cut it a little bit too short.
Raju moving from left to right with her service. Shamblin with an overpass there. Smell timed it perfectly. She is a dynamic hitter.
This is a tough serve-receive rotation for them. They need to get out of this. She's going to go straight down the line again.
And that one died out of the sky in front of the diving Atkins. Well, it looks like it's going to be the Indians' run here in the third set.
Well,
we'll expect if the fourth set, it'll be Hoover, right? That's how it's going. Another tough serve. Sent over. Henrich blocked at the net. Canterbury blocked as well. Randolph was there. Smell was there.
That's a good timeout.
The Huskies see it slipping a bit here. It was Randolph with the block. We'll take it with them as a very quick start to the third set for the Indians.
They're trying to do.
Out of the Herbert Hoover timeouts, Bridgeport's making a quick run here to start the third set. This has been a game of big runs, and both teams have held massive leads in the first and second set. It was 10 for the Indians in the first, 9 for the Huskies in the second. And Ashton Henrich finishes a big swing.
And that's when you say, good timeout, coach.
Hackney checking in on the service line for the Huskies. Smell, I think she ran into her teammate Wolf there and still made it work.
Herbert Hoover was just really flat-footed on their defense there.
And it will be Kennedy Wolf serving. Sends it way to the back line. Nicely served. Smith. Boy, she got up on top of that one a little too much. There's no doubt of her leaping abilities. When she times those, she is really good. Indians by 7 here in the third set. Wolf trying to keep that one alive. Yep. They speak of the importance of the first pass up front. Huskies, a revolving door right now of rotations. Crook checking back in, as is Brianna Atkins, who will be serving. Up front, Wolf going to send it over the head, over to the back line. Smell knocked that off of a front line defender and off of Shamblin's shoulder.
For Bridgeport, Kylie Morgan.
Kylie Morgan checking back in. Smell serving. Good first pass up front. That'll leave Clay with a great opportunity.
That was the first good pass they've had in a few serve receives. That's the key for them.
Clay finished it off nicely. And again, the revolving door substitutions continues. Shamblin checking out. Pleska back in on the front line for the Huskies. Henrich will serve. There comes.
There you go.
Smell attacking again. Actually, no, that was Randolph.
Don't give up. You keep playing until the whistle goes.
Deflected again. They're going to call somebody for the Husky in the nets. I think they're going to say it was Crook. She was the closest to it. Husky faithful. I don't know if they're howling because they're Huskies or if they're booing. I
think that's a boo.
Probably was. Kaylee Infield will serve. That one tips the nets. And sometimes it's nice to be lucky.
I think, was it in the net, or I wonder if the ball might have just caught in her and it was a lift a little bit.
So the Indians now out to an 8-point advantage in set 3. Make it 9. And I think we're going to get a timeout here for Coach King. Well, she looked like she was coming over to call a timeout.
I think she needs to tell her girls to follow that ball all the way into their platform. They're lifting up and standing up, and that's why that ball keeps going up high and behind them.
Strong serve for Infield. Clay was the first to deflect it at the net. Wolf now sends it over to Raju, blocked back by Crook. Now Crook getting a chance to swing at her own. I tell you, I'm really impressed by Jessie Crook, the sophomore. Not only defensively, but that left-handed swing. She hasn't swung hard every time. She's moved it nicely at the net.
And I think that's a hard defense, too. When you have a lefty and you play, 99% of your matches against righties, you tend to block the right hand.
This one airmailed by Morgan to the back line. So Bridgeport took a short 9-point advantage. Huskies now trying to fight from behind. That is just the name of it in the first two sets. Huskies fought down 10 in the first. Bridgeport from 9 down in the second. Rajub attacking this one to the back line. Deflected by Henrich.
I think Herbert Hoover needs to send, when Rajub is in that front side on the pin, they need to send their blocker and cheat a little bit over to that side because most of the balls are going to go out to her. And they need to get that block set up earlier.
Addison Weigel serving for Bridgeport. Atkins leaves it up. Now Hackney's going to take a shot at it. That one rolled across the top of the nets and stays in off of the deflection. And now we'll see the 3-in, 3-out substitutions. Smith, Canterbury, and Lancaster will check in. Crook, Atkins, and Hackney out. Lancaster will serve. Attacking. Morgan deflected at the net by Smith. Indians send it
there.
over. Right in the middle, and that's what we were talking about. Well, Smith, I don't know if she was just unconfident in the first set or thought she could move some soft shots around, but since early in the second set, she's gone nothing but steam behind those swings.
And what a difference. It's hard to defend that ball.
She has connected more often than not. Lead cut down to 6 here in set 3 for the Huskies. Smell sends it all the way across. Raju contorting sideways, didn't get a good hit.
Herbert Hoover needs to continue to pass perfectly to target so they can get all 3 of their hitters in position to hit. Right now they're still just kind of limiting themselves to the outside hit.
Sent over early. That one has headed to the net. And a whistle. I think they got Wolf, who kind of tripped a little bit maybe and fell back into the net.
I think she couldn't stop herself from letting her shoulders go into the net.
Now you can see she just couldn't catch her footing. And a run here for the Huskies now. They have cut the 9-point deficit down to 4. It's almost a mirror image of the first set where the Indians went up big and Huskies just had to fight back. It seems like this is how it's going to go. It depends on which set it is, who's going to go up big. It is a wild ride here in this Class AAA matchup. All 1s and 2s, by the way, here today. It was Class AA number 1, Oak Glen, Class AA number 2, Philip Barber in a massive matchup. The Colts getting the victory, their 7th state title. In Class AAA here, we've got Bridgeport and Hoover. And then the next matchup in Class Quad A, for the first time, a Class Quad A champion will be crowned, and it will be number 1 Hedgesville, number 2 Morgantown. Mohegans, the defending champions from Class AAA last year.
It's all about this first touch, Andrew.
Huskies in the midst of a 4-0 run. Lancaster came in to serve, and she has not left the service line yet. Morgan trying to just sneak one in cross court.
That was out by an inch. And now, of course, I'm like 50 feet from the court.
From our vantage point, it was out by a couple inches. Huskies still attacking. Here comes Rajub attacking herself. That's where she's made a lot of moves.
And again, if you look on the replay, I bet you'll see those blockers are just kind of drifting over to her and being a little bit late. We need to get there earlier, knowing that the ball's going to come to her.
Tourniquet on the bleeding for Bridgeport at the moment. They still lead by 4. Pleska on the running swing, and that one deflected out of bounds by Bridgeport.
Serving for Hoover, Lauren Pleska.
Morgan checking out. And Chloe Martinez checking in on the back line for Bridgeport. And the lone freshman Pleska serving. Lancaster sends it to the near side, and Henrich, well timed.
Now, last time Pleska was serving, they went on a 6-point service run. So, no pressure.
Well, she's got a couple right now, and it is down to 2. What was, for just a moment, a 9-point advantage here in set 3 for Bridgeport. Now, one thing we noticed now about the Huskies, they are not going anywhere, that's for sure. Oh, Smell took some off of it for the first time and caught the Huskies guessing a bit.
And again, that's where your back row, the person that's under you, needs to be saying, mine, 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 so that you don't put your arm out there and grab it and then mess them up.
Very solid serve for Rajub, and Randolph this time going quickly back across.
So Raju went on a 6-point service run last time too. So this serve-receive rotation is not Herbert Hoover's favorite. They need to get out of this quickly.
Raju jump serve to the back line. Lancaster brings it to Henrich. Handled by Martinez on the back line. Good first pass here. Smith on top of it nicely. Missing wide to the left. Did it touch an Indian defender?
No, I
if
don't
not,
believe
that
so.
is some, again, matrix moves. Let's take a look here. Smith rips it, a little bit too far away. And that will burn a timeout again for the Huskies. We'll take it with them, be back in just a second here with third set action. A matchup of runs here in 3 separate sets. Bridgeport, huge lead the first, held off the comeback. Hoover finished off the big run in the second. Bridgeport had a 9-point advantage. Right now they lead by 5 in this Class AAA championship matchup. Up front, boy, that was a great play by Wolf just to get to that one. Smell got a good swing on it, but Canterbury there to deflect it.
That was great hustle, but boy, the importance of that first touch. The setter did a good job just to get a handle on that and keep that ball alive.
Clay and Hackney back in. Hackney will serve for the Huskies. Do they have another major comeback in store here in the third? Or will Bridgeport figure out a way to finish it? There is Smith. That's all athletic ability, getting there quickly, getting up quickly before Bridgeport could adjust defensively.
I was really glad to see she didn't try for more on that. She just needed to just keep it in the court.
Lead back down to 3 for the Indians in this third set. Nice first pass up front. Clay on the run. Put a little spin on it.
A nice finesse shot. That center of the court so often is open. Everybody's expecting these big hits.
Down by 10 in the first. They almost made the comeback. Down by 9 here in the third. And they have got it to within 1 with the ace for Hackney. A gritty performance here for the Huskies. I'm sure they would rather not make it so difficult on themselves, but they are back in it here in set 3. Another great serve. Wolf going to leave it. Smell coming in, swings heavy at it. And I'm not sure that one got across the net, did it?
Yeah, they're saying it did not get across. I don't think Bridgeport likes that call.
Let's see. They're saying maybe that Henrich touched it on a deflection at the net. I'm not sure. Now this one sails long on Hackney. Great decision at the last second by Enfield to pull away.
Again, ball don't lie.
The ball don't lie. You and my buddy Jamie Roffles coined that phrase. Well, this third set is anybody's guess, and now Wolf airmails it. 20-20, and it's a very important set. You want to go up 2-1 because you want to put the pressure on the opposition to have to fight off elimination.
Yep.
I think both teams know how important this third set is.
Now serving, Brianna Atkins.
Atkins checking back in to serve. She hit a nice run the last time from the service line. Smell. Now Henrich gets a swing on it. Wolf's going to send it over. Smell on the left side. Dug out by Atkins.
Nice attack.
Wolf going to go again to the far side. That's Smell's best place to be, the left side. I don't know if she and Raju both like it over there.
Yep. Those are their best weapons, and that's why I say I'd like to see the middle blockers cheat over to them just a little bit.
After the big kill shot, Smell serving. In the middle, Crook got on top too much on it.
Don't think that ever had a chance.
Kind of awkward with a left-handed swing from that position to time that one perfectly.
We need that first pass to be a little more inside the 10, like that.
Beautiful pass. It was Henrich that passed it. She was the recipient of the set. Shamblin up front, sent over early by Atkins. Now Morgan got a good swing at it. Well, that one ripped to the back line. Wolf, self-preservation play there, and Smell hits another one from deep.
And Bridgeport doing what they do best, scrambling.
Absolutely. It was 20-20, a three-point run for the Indians here. And a strong serve by Smell. Boy, great recovery by the Huskies. Morgan on top of this one. Wolf up front, leaves it, tipped across, tipped again to the back
nice
line.
try.
Tremendous hustle play by Shamblin.
That was a great tip on the front row, though.
Yeah, Randolph put it back there to the back line, and now it is set point for the number 1 seeded Bridgeport Indians. And Miley Smell, the first team All-Stater. And that is going to be a tough way to finish the third set, as the Huskies just never got that one up off of the ground. And it is a 2-1 lead now here in Class AAA in the championship matchup between the Indians of Bridgeport and the Huskies of Herbert Hoover High School. We welcome you back inside the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. Class AAA matchup, and it has been chaos and more chaos. Right now, Bridgeport, the number 1 seed, leading the number 2 seeded Huskies from Herbert Hoover, 2-1. You look at those final scores on the board, that doesn't tell you anything about what happened. That 2-point lead for Bridgeport, that 2-point win in the first set, they were up by 10 at one point before Hoover came back to tie it 23-23. In the second set, the Huskies led by 9 points, and they ended up knocking off Bridgeport by 8, but at one point that was down to 4. Bridgeport had a 9-point lead in the third set before the Huskies cut it down to 1, and here we are, 2-1 for the Indians.
It's just been streak after streak after streak, which makes for fun volleyball. I think the team that will win will be the one that can calm down their serve receives the most and set up good passes.
Well, that third set victory for the Indians huge because they force the issue now against the Huskies. And Zaya Smith wasting no time, getting up on top of one and ripping it down the line. We're talking about loving to see Smith on that outside. And she has done work. So again, Bridgeport would love to close it out in the fourth set. And that's a beautiful swing as well. Cross court by Randolph. No, that was Morgan. Don't want to mess that up. Now Shamblin will check in for Pleska, and that one just placed perfectly. Morgan placed it. Now she'll place a serve. Henrich, this one deflected at the net.
Great run through.
Yeah, Weigel came in there just to keep it alert. Henrich goes cross court. Now Smell does the same. Tremendous defense. We got a whistle. What happened?
I don't have a clue. We were in the net.
So they've got Herbert Hoover in the net.
Must have been when they turned to go track down the ball, sometimes you turn and step under the net.
Morgan wasting no time. Here's Smith. Missed time just a bit. Swing by Wolf that time. Henrich takes some off of it. What a pancake.
I think that's a pancake.
That was Smell doing it all. Good setup here for Henrich. Deflected by Rajub at the net, and now nobody there for the Indians. Boy, a lot of hard swings, a lot of defensive effort, though, on both sides for that point.
Bridgeport doing what they're doing with the scrambling there. But Herbert Hoover had some awesome digs.
Once again, Kylie Hackney checking in, the sophomore, to serve. Weigel leaves it up for Rajub. Lancaster keeping it alive. Now Hackney get a nice swing on it. Coming in from 10 feet.
Nice coming in from the back. You don't have to jump. You don't have to be aggressively attack. You just have to have court awareness.
And put a lot of that front
she
spin
had a little
on it.
bit of jump on that.
And a solid serve as well by Hackney. Weigel's going to send it over to Smell on the far side. It was a combination block by Smith and Clay, but it stayed on the side of the Huskies.
Yeah, it drifted. Again, they drift just a little bit there.
Salam Rajub serving for the Indians. Very nicely set up by the Huskies, but there to deflect it and send it down on the block was Randolph.
Now serving Salam Rajub.
Well, the Huskies up front have been great defensively, but the Indians have been opportunistic, I would say, defensively. Weigel sends it back over to Smell again, blocked by, again, the combo of Smith and Clay. That one shoved to the back line. Shamlin with a great dig. Weigel sends it over.
Good defense.
Henrich deflected at the net once again. See what Smell chooses to do. Rips it into the defense again. Well, that combination of Clay and Smith over there has been great. Now Smith, heavy on the swing, just misses wide right.
She had such height and just hang time, but she just forced it a little bit too tight to that line.
Rajub serving again. Lancaster will bring it over to Henrich this side, and Ashton Henrich goes cross courts and rips that one off of the wrist of Rajub.
And that was a nice kill. She needed that. She had a lot of swings in the previous point, but she needed to put one down.
Well, at the moment, unlike the first three sets, nobody's separating themselves from the other. Atkins checking back in to serve. Wolf, who checked back in, sets it up, and that was ripped by Smell off of a defender for the Huskies.
You got to know where your big hitter is on that front line and cheat to her a little bit. She was totally open.
Well, I would say that Miley Smell has spent 85% of the time on the left. She made that play, though, from the right side. Well, a healthy swing that time from Henrich.
Well, Bridgeport called it out, but the line judge said no.
Now serving Ashton Henrich.
Henrich will be serving now. Good first pass. Wolf leaves it up there for Smell.
Nice
well played.
dig.
Henrich on the back line again. Pleska now. Soft touch.
Unbelievable.
One dive, two dives, and it ends up with a beautiful pass to Miley Smell, who rips it to the back line off a defender. How in the world did the Indians keep that alive, let alone end up with a great pass?
Again, that's been their MO this whole game, is just scramble, scramble, scramble. Put it up and let the other team make the mistake.
Miley Smell serving. Atkins leaves it in the middle for Crook. Crook goes again quickly, but misses long.
And that's the problem with taking those one-timers out of the air. As soon as it crosses the plane of your head, you're reaching and pushing it deep. You need to make sure you keep that ball out in front of you or just set it up.
This one's set up for Clay. Deflected at the net by an Indian. Morgan, a great backline dig by Henrich. Wolf with the single-handed set. Good action here up at the net. Well, just great movement. If you back the eyes up, you'd see just constant movement on both sides. And there is Crook again, the left-hander with the nice swing.
Yeah, it's nice to see both teams are transitioning on and off the net very well. That was a great point on both sides of the net.
Neither team allowing the other to get up much here. Braylon Atkins serving for the Huskies. And there's Randolph ripping it back line.
And there was no one there for her. She just had free net.
Randolph swung at that one, turned around, and ran off the court. Substituted by Rajub. Infield serving now. Up at the net. Oh, just tough.
Bad set, bad set.
Yeah, Crook
tried to force it to the middle. If it's not perfect, you can't go there.
Now a timeout whistled as Bridgeport finds themselves up by 4. Coach Anita King for the Huskies says, we want to talk it over. We'll take the break with them here in a big set 4. Well, if we keep seeing that ad for that honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, I'm going to take advantage after this. We are in a battle here in set number 4. Number 1, Bridgeport in Class AAA. Number 2, Herbert Hoover. 4th set action. There's Raju going back line, missing long. Huskies had to burn a timeout. They got down by 4, and again, they're facing elimination. So Coach Anita King wanted to make sure every duck was in the row. Here comes the 3 rotation. Lancaster, Smith, and Canterbury in. Hackney, Crook, and Atkins out. It will be Lancaster serving.
Nice soft serve.
Very nicely floated. This one left in the middle. Morgan. Again, a block. This was Smith. Again, Smith. 2 in a row for Zaya Smith. I think that has been the best part of Herbert Hoover's defense, is right at the net. Multiple deflections and blocks. Wolf leaves it on the far side for Ajub. Rips that one.
Get it.
And that was a nice effort by Henrich. Got down there to dig it, but it just deflected sideways off the wrists and went way out of play.
Now serving Addison Weigel.
Combined, these two teams have played for a grand total of, including this one, 5 state championships. Only one, and that comes from Bridgeport. And that time, I think the Huskies weren't ready. It seemed like
it was just a bad miscommunication.
Yeah, Weigel sent that to the far left corner, and I don't think a Husky was in sight. She'll do it again. Bit of a mishit. Kept alive, though, by the Huskies. Sent over early by Rajub.
Pretty sure they could have ruled that as a back row attack. I think the setter had contact with the ball.
The Huskies, 2 runner-up finishes, 1996, and the inaugural season for head coach Anita King in 2013. And this is not the time, if you're a Husky, to be lacking in mental focus. 2 aces here in the last 3 points for Bridgeport. Another serve for Weigel.
Got swing.
Yeah, Smith just poking it across. Rajub swings. Henrich been playing well back there. Pleska gets a good swing at it. And placed perfectly for Rajub. Good effort by Henrich and Atkins both. They collided on the dig attempt.
I'd like to see both people going for it, so you can't really complain about that.
Bridgeport hitting a run at the right time. Boy, what a play. Lancaster off the deflection by her teammates. Weigel sends it over to Rajub, blocked at the net, kept alive, and Smith tips it over. Rajub goes again. Atkins diving, Henrich diving, and still it stays on the side of the Huskies.
They need to get that defense calmed down They need to start anticipating where that ball is going instead of reacting to it. When you react, you're on the back of your heels, and you're always just a second late.
I thought Coach King for the Huskies was going to call a timeout. She has just one remaining. And there, they did not need it as Pleska comes in firing.
They needed that.
The Indians, though, have built a big lead here in this fourth set, already leading 2-1.
But Herbert Hoover has proven they can come back.
Came down from 10 behind in the first, 9 behind in the third. Weren't able to complete the comebacks, but they made it close. Lancaster going to leave it up on the near side. Henrich rips it into the hands of the defender, and it goes out of play.
You need to not look at the score and see how much it is. You need to just win 1 point at a time.
That one off the hands of Wolf up front. Jump serve for Pleska, goes back line, and a late call not to let that one go. Ends up with another point for the Huskies.
That was a great serve.
Well, lest you be worried that the Huskies go down big, they have not been worried by that yet tonight or today. I'll get it right eventually. Pleska again. Up front. Boy, what an effort by Wolf.
Good hustling.
But that's going to leave it up there for Smith. And she was staring down at the opposite side and absolutely tattooed this one. Watch that. Wow, a big run now for the Huskies as they have cut it down to 4. I would love to see that one again. I have no problems with that one.
Wow.
Well, once again, Herbert Hoover finds themselves down big, although the stakes are a bit higher here in the fourth because they trail 2-1. And it's almost as if that is when they decide to turn on whatever extra juice they've got.
Yeah, Bridgeport is still scrambling and getting everything up, though. You know, they're just not quitting on anything. Herbert Hoover has to just calm down their defense, get a good pass to target so that middle can hit that ball like we want to see her hitting it.
Yeah, you know, we saw in the first set, Zia Smith was trying to utilize dink shots. And although they were going across, there was not really any harm created by that. She changed her mentality in the second set and started swinging hard at it, and that's been what has worked well for her.
Yeah, I mean, if you get her the perfect set, that's a hard
Mm-hmm.
ball to defend. Bridgeport has enough skill in their defensive back row that they can dig up a lot that Herbert Hoover is sending to them. So Herbert Hoover needs to calmly pass that ball to get these sets perfect.
So the Indians end up burning the timeout with a 4-point advantage,
Nice
make it 3. Pleska serving well.
Pleska is one of their most prolific servers, and you can't complain about getting an ace at that point.
Just a freshman is Lauren Pleska. Huskies trying to will themselves back in this fourth elimination set. Cross court it goes. Now up front, Weigel going to leave it there for Rajub.
Imagine that.
Yeah, Rajub and Smell on the left side, the outside hitting position, have been dominant.
And the block's just not there. Zia Smith went up way too early on that block.
We saw tremendous effort by Pleska there. Oh, wow, and not what you want to see if you're Bridgeport. You finally stop the bleeding, and then a serve error into the net for Morgan. She will check out. Back in is Martinez. Hackney will come back in to replace Canterbury, and she'll go back to the service line. Bridgeport would love to end it here, 3-1. Right now, you can see the Huskies fighting for their lives.
Nice pass.
Lancaster going to leave it in the middle.
Oh, got to get him.
And this one sent back line by Wolf. She's not really the one you're looking for hard swings. She's more of the setter, but she had an open look, just airmailed it a bit. Huskies have come back now to 2 away. Weigel going to send it over to Smell, and Smell rips it off of a defender to the up judge's hands.
So the problem with serving Smell, I've said this several times today. You serve the hitter, she makes a pass, and she is already engaged in the play, ready to hit it. You don't necessarily want to serve her.
Rajub has served well in this 4-set action so far.
There you go.
Boy, great play. Smith, for the first time, took some off of it and ended up working it off a couple of deflections. Rajub will check out. Back in is infield. Meanwhile, a pair in for the Huskies, including Brianna Atkins, who's come in as a serve specialist.
Well, she's done a very good job as a setter, distributing the ball to all of her hitters.
Boy, tough positioning on the far side for Randolph. She was having to back up over near that side.
Yeah, that was so far off the court. The only option she had was to hit it cross court short.
Well, and don't look now, but the Huskies, after going down by 8, are down by 1. Wolf right at the net, tipped across by Smell. What a location to place that one.
So Herbert Hoover needed to be saying to their front row, Snell's up front, Snell's hitting left side, Snell's hitting right side. They need to be talking and making sure that everyone knows where the heavy hitters are.
It is Wolf now serving. Back to an intensely close match here in the 4th. And Clay rips that one off a defender. Whoa, wait a minute. And now we've got a call to the Bridgeport side. Let's see what the replay shows.
I think it's another one of those where it hit the top of the tape and bounced out.
Yeah.
I didn't see a touch.
I don't think that was
But
deflected.
When you see the ball go sideways like that, you think, oh, it's got to be a touch.
So I think the proper call there, Herbert Hoover didn't like it, and they show their displeasure and frustration.
They said,
Clay wanted the last one.
They said, not yet.
So Clay put a little extra onto that one and made sure that one dropped in the gray. And it is still a massively close 4th set. Henrich serving. Wolf sets it up for Smell. And Maylee Smell, well, again, she was a first-team All-Stater last year, second-team captain the year before, and we can tell why. Maylee Smell has been incredible, and now it looks as if we may have an injured Husky, and it looked as if maybe just a rolled ankle, we hope.
It's the toughest thing to be playing in the front row, and you're coming down on top of other people's feet all the time, and it just breaks your heart when things like this happen.
Yeah, the Coliseum and Convention Center has gone silent here as medical staff checking on the injured Herbert Hoover volleyball player. And like I said, that is Pleska. I think what I saw right before on the replay, maybe just a rolled ankle.
She's walking. That's always a good sign. And she's not even really limping. Probably just a little scared. I don't want to watch.
See here.
I'll let you look.
Yeah, just a rolled ankle. Now, it looks awful, obviously. But those low ankle rolls, sometimes you're okay. Just tighten that shoelace a little bit tighter. They're going to check on Pleska, though. Hopefully she is okay. And for the first time tonight, or today, golly, it's dark in here. I forget that I got here at 9:30 in the morning. We are in the afternoon, but for the first time, Kendra Callan, the junior, will check in for the Huskies.
Now, don't be surprised if they serve straight to her. The libero should probably be cheating. Oh, there she goes. She's shifting a little bit over to her.
It will be Maylee Smell serving. Crucial moment here for both sides. Attacking is Morgan.
Nice.
A great deflection by Crook. An emotional leader, as you can see, on the floor. And Crook with a big deflection. That gives the side out to the Huskies. With Bridgeport leading in this elimination set for the Huskies by just 2. Attacking Morgan, took some off, placed it at the end line.
That was a very smart play. Again, sometimes you don't need power. You just need a little finesse.
Well, it is 0 hour at the moment. And again, just one timeout remaining for the Huskies. And Coach King said, we've got to call that right now because you're 3 points away if you're Bridgeport, and you've got to make up a pretty big margin in that little bit of time if you're Herbert Hoover. What would be, if you were the coach in the huddle right now, you're facing elimination in the championship, what do you got to tell your girls?
Calm down. You're here for a reason. You're good. Watch the ball all the way into your platform and make a spot-on pass. No, I know who my big hitters are. Get the ball so that we can set them. Don't let any balls hit the ground. Is that enough?
I think
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure
Maybe
at all.
add a little joke just to lighten the mood a little bit. You know, it is fun. It's a game. You want them to relax just a little bit, but understand the importance of this one serve receive.
I want to say you've come back from down 10-9 twice.
Yes, you can do this.
22-19
But it's
Bridgeport.
all this first touch.
Infield serving, very nicely done.
Perfect pass.
Tipped across nicely into the net.
Lefty.
I'm telling you, Crook, big play at big times.
That's probably where I would have drawn that up, knowing that she has been so good with that left hand.
Here comes the changeover, 3 in, 3 out. Lancaster, Smith, and Canterbury will replace Crook,
Now,
Atkins, and Hackney.
Bridgeport is saying you just got to get a side out. Just get one good pass here.
Lancaster has served well in her time.
Nice stats.
Wolf up front. There's Raju.
Out.
Did it stay in? No, just missing long.
They knew exactly where they needed to put it. And again, that middle blocker has got to be cheating over to her because that's where they're going to be going. Guarantee it.
Missed by about a length of a volleyball. The Huskies to within 1. Bridgeport, they want to side out badly. Long serve, and that one left alone by Smell on the back line, and that is a tough serve error to have at that time.
Okay, so draw it up. Who are your heavy hitters? Who do you want to get this ball to?
Addison Weigel will be serving, takes a deep breath. Good first pass. Lancaster, it'll be Smith. Smith, did she place it in? No.
That's a hard miss.
I wonder if we have the look at that down the line.
And that's where I think you need to just hit the ball because I think she pushed it and tried to place it too much. She just needed to go with her athleticism.
Set and match point for Bridgeport. Looking for their second state title.
Still
Kept
good,
alive
still
by
good.
the Indians. Sent across. Now Smith is going to have to send it back over. Weigel leaves it in the middle. That one airmailed long. Boy, that was a hair away from Bridgeport's second state title. And what a comeback for the Huskies. They need 2 more, though. Bridgeport wants to finish it here and not take it to a 5th. Kendra Callan, who just checked in for the injured Pleska, serving.
No pressure.
Morgan sends it up there. Smell deflected.
Talk it up, girls. See
Boy,
how they're reacting?
they were coming in late. Weigel sets it up, and Raju sends it into the net. And the Huskies, the faithful to our right, fired up.
Can you imagine the nerves for her? You got. If I were her mom, I would just be chewing every single fingernail.
And going to make it a little bit harder on the youngster Callan is Bridgeport. They're going to burn their final timeout. Each of these has been a set point, Deneen, and each time big plays had to be made, scrambles had to be made, and we sit here very close to, again, what we don't know is going to happen. This has been an unconventional 4-set match so far.
Right.
Looking forward to seeing what is going to happen. Again, it will be Callan serving. Bridgeport would love to get a side out and finish it here with set and match point. If you get that point, though, and you're Herbert Hoover, you take a small sigh of relief because you know you got to win by 2 now.
Game.
Yeah.
It's a brand new game. I'd like to know, we'll find out in a minute, who's dropping back on defense. If Smell is dropping back on defense, you don't want to serve her and get her engaged in hitting. You want to make sure You're serving to someone that's not going to come right in and attack the ball.
Kendra Callan, the junior, ready to serve. Set match point each of these.
And you have to know that this pass is probably going to go to the outside hitter.
It will be Smell. They're going to leave it over instead. They were looking for Smell, I think.
Yes, I think they were.
And they went to Morgan instead. Wolf went over the head with the set. Sent it to Callie Morgan on the right side. The defense for the Huskies were all moved and shaded over to the other side. I think everybody in the building may have thought that they were going to send it over to
that was smart.
Miley Smell. Instead, it is Morgan to finish it off. What a battle.
That was a smart set from your setter. You got to give Bridgeport props. They hustled and tracked down more balls than any of the games I've seen here. They just didn't quit, and but neither did Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, speaking of no quit, the comeback kids, it started off. It did not look good for the Huskies out of the gate. They looked a little bit nervous, tense, not talking. They went down 5-0, went down 21-11 in the first set. Made the comeback all the way to take a tie at 23-23. And that is just how the chaos started here tonight. Congratulations to the Bridgeport Indians, just their second state title in school history. And for the runner-up here, the Huskies, their third runner-up finish. And they will, again, look for a title in years to come. We will take a break for our sponsors. When we return, we'll wrap things up here in Class AAA. The Indians are your champs. There may be a rematch here next year.
Yeah, definitely. Herbert Hoover's such a young team that I guess when you look at the roster ages, is it any wonder that they came out so shaky in that first game? You know, maturity, get some more balls served to them. Next year, I think they're going to come with a little more attitude.
Absolutely. Well, that will do it for us here in Class AAA. We will send it across to Doug Pearson, the PA announcer, as he delivers the awards for both the runners up here in Class AAA, Herbert Hoover, and your champions in Class AAA, the Bridgeport Indians.
Ashlyn Clay. Ashton Henrich. Zaya Smith. Braylon Adkins. Lily Lancaster. Kendra Callan. Jesse Crook. Amelia Canterbury. Olivia Huddleston. And Kylie Hackney. Coaches are Anita King and assistant coach Ashton King, and any other support staff, please come to the floor at this time. At this time, we'll present the 2024 volleyball runner-up trophy to the ladies from Herbert Hoover High School. Congratulations.